carbon monoxide and had elevated readings of carbon monoxide in the home when they arrived. A short time later, just after 5 o'clock on Wednesday, the Wakefield Fire Department
through the rest of the afternoon and a different.
Sorry, we got some feedback there. So the Wakefield Fire Department reached out to our office just after 5 o'clock on Wednesday and requested assistance to determine the origin and cause of the incident. We responded with a crew of investigators and began our investigation to determine what the cause of the carbon monoxide release was. At this time, we've identified the home's heating system to be the source of the carbon monoxide leak. We believe it to be an accidental case at this point. There was an issue with the heating system that we're investigating a little further at this time, but all accounts at this point are that it's accidental death. We have been able to confirm with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner that Matthew's death is caused by carbon monoxide. The cause and manner of death of the 3 females is pending at this time based on a need for additional blood work, which we expect hopefully today or tomorrow, and we'll be able to release a final cause and manner of death for all 4 at that point. Our message here is this year we've had a very tragic year for both smoke inhalation related to fire fatalities this year and also carbon monoxide deaths. I believe at this point, these fatalities bring us up over 10 deaths related to carbon monoxide this year. When typically in a year we have 2 or 3 accidental deaths related to carbon monoxide. Our message continues to be the need to have carbon monoxide alarms in everybody's homes. We urge everyone to reach out to your friends and neighbors and loved ones to make sure they have these important devices in their homes. Unfortunately, we did find there was no working carbon monoxide alarms in the Goldstein's residence at the time of the incident. So carbon monoxide, as we mentioned, is a silent killer. It's colorless, odorless, and it will mimic like flu-like symptoms, headaches, nausea, fatigue, and I think especially at this time of year with all the regular illnesses going on, it can be mistaken for something else, and that stresses the importance of having the working carbon monoxide alarms in your homes. At this point, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Just a reminder, it is an active and ongoing investigation, so there may be some things that I can't share at this point, but again, all accounts are that this is an accidental and a very tragic story through the holiday season. Happy to answer any questions. Tyler, I think you'll queue them up for me.
Thanks, Marshall. So just a reminder to everyone, if you can please stay on mute until we go to you. Again, if you want to ask a question, just simply click on the raise hand icon. If you are calling in on the phone, then it is just *5 to raise your hand. The first one I have here is Tim Callery. Tim?
Hey, Sean, thanks for doing this. We appreciate it. Just wondering if you happen to have any information on when the last time we saw a case like this where multiple people died in one location from CO poisoning. And then I have a follow-up too, Tyler, if that's okay.
Sure.
I can share that in my time in the office, which is coming up on 8 years, I'm not aware of this many from a carbon monoxide incident. We did have the incident in Bedford this year with a tragic loss of 2 elderly in Bedford resulting from a carbon monoxide incident.
And then just to follow up, we understand that the victims may have been found in different locations in the home. Are you able to tell us where each victim was found?
Yeah, so the 3 of the victims were found in the bedrooms and 1 victim was found in the bathroom.
Are you able to say specifically? Sorry, we're just looking for specifics as to who was found where. Are you able to say that?
I'd rather not share at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Nick Perry with the Associated Press.
Thanks, Marshall. Do you believe that the deaths occurred overnight? Like, were they sleeping at the time, or did they occur during the daytime? I know that the person arrived before, but presumably they have been dead sometime.
They're a little bit broken, but I believe you're asking to try to pinpoint a little bit the times of the death. We're working with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner to help pinpoint the exact timing, in addition to some of the background and interviews that my staff are doing with family as far as when the last contact is. Based on locations in the bedroom, we believe it was probably overnight, but we have not confirmed that at this point.
Okay, and just a quick follow-up. You said that there were no working carbon monoxide alarms. Were there some carbon monoxide alarms, maybe with batteries that had died or something?
There were no there were no carbon monoxide alarms in the home.
Thank you.
Next question is from WCAX News in Burlington, Vermont.
Hello, good afternoon. We were just wondering, there was some speculation online that the residence that they were in was an Airbnb. Are you all able to confirm or deny that information?
So the family did own, they were the primary owners of the property. It did appear that there was an area in the basement that may have been used for an Airbnb. It was not being used. It was not being used at the time of the incident. It was just the family of four. And to the best that we've been able to determine so far, that space hadn't been used in several months.
Thank you.
Thanks. Damon Steer from the Conway Daily Sun.
Thank you for taking my question. I was wondering what kind of heating system they have and what kind of heating systems tend to create carbon monoxide issues. Also, I've got some carbon monoxide testers at home, and they seem kind of like you can't really tell if they're working or not a lot of times. Do you have any tips on determining whether your detector is working or not?
Sure, thank you for that question. So the system was a propane gas system in the house. And going back to your question of what can create it, propane gas systems, oil systems, and even solid fuel appliances, wood stoves, pellet stoves. It has the potential to generate carbon monoxide, off-gas carbon monoxide. So our message is all about maintaining your heating systems, getting them routine maintenance each year, having your chimneys cleaned and making sure there's no blockages, and periodically have them inspected. This time of year with the vents, we make sure that the vents, especially on the exterior for these gas systems, are not blocked by snow and ice. And going to your question about carbon monoxide alarms specifically, the older style carbon monoxide alarms typically lasted about 5 to 7 years, and they should have an end-of-life chirp to them. Each manufacturer is slightly different, but if you review manufacturer instructions, you can determine what the beeps are telling you. The newer alarms typically last 10 years. And they'll also have an end-of-year beep to them. We encourage them, just like smoke alarms, to test them monthly and then change the batteries or inspect the batteries. Some of them are sealed 10-year batteries, but at least just check your batteries at least twice a year. I think that answers all your questions. If I missed something, please let me know.
Thank you.
Marshall, there was a question in the chat from a reporter from Matt's Live, just asking if the heating system was leaking carbon monoxide. If you can clarify that.
Yeah, so what we believe is there was some sort of malfunction of the gas heating system in which allowed carbon monoxide gas to not exit through the normal venting system like it should and exit to the outside. So I guess in terms, there was carbon monoxide leaking into the home because of the heating system failure. And at this point, we're still, sorry.
Sorry, Marshall.
I would say we're still looking into all of the details of that failure at this point.
Marshal, I was just hoping you could describe the emotions of the first responders and of your office around this incident.
I think, our office unfortunately has to respond to all fire deaths and carbon monoxide deaths in this state. This has been a terribly tragic year for both fire deaths and carbon monoxide deaths. I think it wears on all of us. It comes at even additionally a terrible time of year being the holidays, which we spend time with family and friends. So to lose a whole family of four right in the peak of the holiday season, I guess it hits home even more. We did have there was a stress debriefing held for the first responders in Wakefield last night. And I know many people attended to kind of share their experiences and help sort of the grieving process that we deal with on our end as first responders.
Any other questions? We'll give it another just a few seconds here for any last minute questions. Yep, Tim Calorie.
Marshall, is it unusual to need additional testing on the blood in a situation like this?
We've been finding lately that we have had to have some circumstances that the blood has to go out to a different lab beyond the lab at Concord Hospital. So I wouldn't say it's totally unusual. It happens occasionally. And I think the trigger sometimes is it's fear that there's something more complicated going on. It's just an equipment issue with the computers and such doing our lab work. I think just like any one of us that go for our lab work, some can get done in practically the time you get in the parking lot. Other times it takes a couple of days or a couple of weeks before you get your final results. So I think in this case, it takes a few more days just because they're not able to do it right at the hospital.
All right, thanks everyone. We appreciate your time. Thanks, Marshall.
Thank you.
Thank you.